Time and time again, whether we're meeting with a seller of a multi-million-dollar mansion or a starter condo like this one that I'm standing in, the same question comes up. Sterling and Jess, what gets me the best bang for the buck when it comes time to selling? And it's always the same answer: carpet and paint. So in this case, we're standing in a 700 square foot condominium. It's a 1-bedroom, and the painter came in. It took him about a day and a half. The walls were not very clean, and the walls were a bit darker, kind of a salmon color in the living room, and then a peach color in the bedroom. It did not look real great. Now, at least it's a blank slate, it looks clean, it's bright, it's light, and did you know that when you go with a lighter tone, it actually makes the space feel larger? So for those of you who like to have an accent wall and have a little bit of color, sorry to disappoint, but you always want to err in the side of caution and open up that buyer pool by just having it off-white or some tone. It could be in the gray tone or in the brown family, but you want to keep it light, right? So we just say kind of the white tone walls. Now, the seller, when we met with her, she is on a very tight budget. So naturally, she said, I don't want to overspend if it's not going to get a quicker sale and more money in my pocket. So we talked to her about this. She actually brought up the fact that she could sell it off market to an investor. And when we crunched the numbers, she would be leaving about $20,000 to $30,000 on the table if she sold off market. Here, she's just worried about 2 things. Well, let's say 3 things. Number 1, paint. Number 2, carpet. And number 3 is just a good, deep, thorough clean. So come on over here, and you can see there's a deck. All she needs to do is make sure that the deck is clean, free of leaves, free of any algae. The tracks down here, of course, if you're getting your house on the market, you want to make sure that you get the nitty gritty, the fine detail, and you're not leaving that buyer to come in and have that yucky feeling of a lived-in space. Everybody knows that a hotel has been lived in, right? That's what a hotel room is. But the reason why you want to make sure you're staying in a clean hotel room with new fresh sheets is you don't want to have that, first of all that yucky feeling, and you want to just have a nice environment that you know has been sterilized and it's going to be good for you and your needs. That's the same thing here. You're selling an emotion, all right? So this is probably the key takeaway from this video. As a seller, you're not just selling a product, you're selling an emotion. So you want that buyer to come in and envision as they go around, in this case, this condo, they want to be able to envision, okay, the TV can go here. No, actually, let's put the TV over here. And over there, we can put the barbecue outside. And over here, we can have a little desk because we have a window. If there's too many things impeding their response, meaning it smells like dog, or if it's really dark, they can't envision that. Now, you could say, well, certainly people do have vision, but what you want to do is you want to illustrate as much as possible how they could feel living here. So always have curtains open, have things clean, have things freshly painted if necessary, and always make sure that your flooring is either new carpet or has been cleaned and looks newer. So this is not a large condominium. In fact, it's rather small. It's just shy of 700 square feet. And why we chose to use this as an example is because it doesn't matter if it's a 10,000 square foot luxury home or a 1-bedroom condo like this. The same principles apply. If you want to get the highest dollar value for your home, you want to make sure that you put in the money and the time into things that actually net you more money. So we already went over the paint and carpet. The carpet in this case, it's really not too bad. If you take a look at it from a visual standpoint, the carpet is not terrible. You can see, if you look underneath the baseboard, there's a little bit of discoloration. That's of course gonna happen because that's where the dust accumulates there, so it kind of discolors. But we're not doing it for a visual reason, we're doing it because the previous tenant here had a cat, and there is some odor from that. So even after a cleaning, we decided mutually with the seller that this would be a good return on investment. She's gonna spend about $1,500, $1,500 on new carpet, and that covers the living room. Come on in the bedroom, just do a quick whip through here. Sorry it's dark, but we don't have any lamps in here. But the point is, there's an odor from the cat, a little bit of a urine smell, a little bit of that cat dander smell. So by her replacing it, $1,500, I am going to project that she would probably get somewhere between $5,000 and $8,000 more. Opens up the pool of buyers. They don't have that emotional response of, oh, it's kind of smelly in here, and it solves that problem and gets our seller more money. Once again, cleanliness is so important when you're selling a home. So come on in here and we'll show you real quick. So this grout here needs to be cleaned, right? And if it doesn't get cleaned, then it needs to be scooped out and it needs to be reapplied so that that next buyer comes in and it looks nice and neat and clean. And this doesn't cost a handyman a whole lot of time or money. I will point out that this countertop here on the vanity is not the best color. This is not 2022 the best countertop color that you could imagine. Naturally, somebody can come in and replace that. When we crunched the numbers with our seller, based on her budget and her time, this wasn't gonna have the highest return on investment. So a new cabinet installed, let's say it's gonna be about $800. So the cabinet would probably be about $400, and then she could pay somebody to install it, and then a little bit of plumbing, let's just say $1,000. She might be able to get $2,000 or $3,000 more, but now you're playing the riskier sense of an investment. So you want to invest this much money and get this much money in return when you sell your product or your home. But if you're investing this much and you're only getting this much, then you're being a little bit more of a speculator, and we don't want to speculate if you're on a tight budget and it's just not worth that effort for maybe another $1,000 or so. So let's walk out to the kitchen. Lighting's not real great in here, but what we did here is made sure that she understands that all the lighting throughout the condo needs to be bright. So these bulbs will be brightened up, and we even looked at the option of having the cabinetry painted, because this is old. This kitchen is an older kitchen. This is not gonna win the Kitchen of the Year award. However, it functions. It's gonna be great for that next person or people who buy this. And when we talked about painting it, because they're in good condition, we're okay, she's okay selling a more dated condo. Now, granted, it has fresh carpet and it will have, it will have fresh carpet, and it does have fresh paint. Once it's cleaned, the price is going to reflect that she's not going to get the very tippy top, but it doesn't make sense for her to invest in new cabinetry or even the paint here, because the next buyer should be able to envision that, could install some soft close cabinetry or just paint it. If I were starting out and I didn't own a home and I didn't make much money, I would still want to buy. So we're standing right now in about a 700 square foot, 1-bedroom condo in the Linwood area. It's hard to be a buyer in this competitive market. So what do if you don't have much money and you don't have the ability to get the house of your dreams? Well, if you crunch the numbers, a place like this can easily rent out for $1,200 to $1,300 a month. If you buy it, and depending on the down payment, let's say you just go with a minimal down, FHA 3.5%, you can buy this condo with closing costs, your prepaids, and your down payment for under $15,000. What that means is your payment of about $1,300 or $1,400 a month is almost what the rent is. So why not purchase a home? And this is not salesman talk saying, you need to buy this condo, give me a call. What this is honest real estate investment advice. I've purchased my first property when I was 24 years old, and I'm so glad I did. In fact, if I could have, I would have purchased a property earlier. It builds equity, it builds experience, and it was a good way for me to use a stepping stone to get another place and build up that creation of wealth. If you didn't know already, real estate is one of the best ways to build wealth. It is a tried and true method. So even though this may not be, or a property like this may not be the home of your dreams, a $200,000 or about condo could be a great solution versus renting. You no longer have to answer to the landlord. You no longer have to answer to the whims of maybe rent going up, or maybe they sell that property and that was your home. So yes, in a condo situation, you do have to answer to the HOA, so always do your due diligence, make sure that the financials, make sure that everything works out with the condo association, with the rules and regulations and things like that. I'm not saying that there's not some homework involved, but in this case, do not be short-sighted and say, I need to get a single family home. So I do want to mention that condos are not for everybody, but if it is an option and it satisfies the need of a location and the affordability and the lifestyle, then it might be a really good thing and a good fit for you and your family. So in this case, it's a shoe-in, and over time, real estate tends to go up in value. Yes, there are exceptions, but in this market, in 2022, you can see anywhere in the nation, real estate has been generally going up. Again, there are exceptions, but it's been going up. And there's a whole video regarding appreciation and how real estate is a tried and true method to build wealth. Even during times of uncertainty, wars and recession, it tends to go up. So be sure to click on that link regarding appreciation.